Okay, so picture this. A desert where the sand dunes are the backdrop for lakes that glow with colors that seem, well, impossible. Today, we're taking a trip deep into the Tingir Desert to solve a mystery that honestly looks like it's from another planet.
Somewhere in that vastness, there's a lake so incredibly red that it's earned this nickname, the Heart of the Earth. From the air, it looks like a blood-red jewel just sitting in a sea of golden sand. It's a wild, almost unbelievable sight.
And that's the big question, right? How on earth can a lake in the middle of a desert glow like a ruby? That's the mystery we're going to unravel today. It's this awesome mix of geography, a little bit of biology, and a whole lot of adventure. All right, let's dive in.
To find this incredible red lake, we've got to start at the beginning. And surprisingly, the journey doesn't actually begin in the desert, but at what you'd call its gateway. First, we need to get our bearings, because this whole expedition actually crosses two different regions.
So check this out. This is the first kind of interesting thing you notice. You actually start your trip in one region, NingXia, to get to the lakes, which are in a totally different one, Inner Mongolia. Most of the tours use cities like Yinchuan as their base camp, before the 4x4s push out into the real desert.
And wow, what a desert it is. We're talking about the Tingir Desert, one of China's biggest and honestly most beautiful. It's just this endless sea of golden rolling dunes. It feels huge, ancient. But tucked away inside all that sand are the secrets we're here for, this string of absolutely extraordinary lakes.
All right, so now we're really in it. We're on the crossing, heading deep into the sand to find these lakes. And what's so cool is that each one is like its own little world. You're about to see just how different they all are.
So here's a quick look at the variety we're talking about. See, it's not just about that one famous red lake. You've got everything from a freshwater spot full of birds and plants to these super salty pools that have these crazy otherworldly colors. Every single stop on the trip is a whole new experience.
So the first stop is, well, it's a total shock to the system. You've been driving through nothing but sand for miles and miles, and then, bam, Swan Lake. It's this beautiful freshwater oasis with reeds and wildlife. It's a super important rest stop for migrating birds, swans and others. It's a real oasis in every sense of the word.
And then you see it, the one you came for, Ulan Lake. The water is this intense, almost unbelievable red, and the way it contrasts with the yellow sand and the white salt flats around the edges, it's just stunning. This is the heart of the earth. I mean, seeing it for real, it's something else.
After that, you hit Camel Lake. It gets its name from the giant dunes all around it. People say their curving shapes look like the humps on a camel's back. This one often has a pinkish color to it, which really gives you that classic, picture-perfect desert oasis vibe.
Okay, so we've seen this insane red water. But how? How is that even possible? It looks totally alien, but the answer is all about the science of this very unique place. It's time to break down what's really going on here.
Right, the first big clue, and this is the most important part, is that Ulan Lake is not a freshwater lake. It's a salt lake. We're talking super high concentrations of salt and minerals. That makes it a really tough place for most things to live, most things. And that little detail, it changes absolutely everything.
So here's the recipe for a red lake, and it's 100% natural. Not pollution, not some weird dye. First, you need that super high salt content. Step 2, you need intense sunlight, which you obviously get a lot of in the desert. Those two things together create the perfect conditions for a special kind of algae to grow. These little guys produce carotenoids, the same stuff that makes carrots orange. And when they bloom, which is step 4, they basically dye the entire lake that incredible deep red. It's this perfect storm of chemistry and biology.
So, while the lakes are obviously the main attraction, I've got to tell you, the journey to get to them is a whole adventure in itself. This is not some relaxing bus tour where you just look out the window. No way. You've got to really get in there and tackle the desert head-on. I mean, you're really in the action. You're in a 4x4 flying up and down these huge sand dunes. You're getting out and trekking across the sand. And at night, you're camping out under a sky with so many stars, it's just mind-blowing. It's that mix of high-energy fun and total peaceful silence that really makes this trip unforgettable.
When you really think about it, the whole trip comes down to one word: contrast.
You've got this insane, vivid color of the water right up against the endless gold sand. You've got the roar of the 4x4 engines, and then complete, absolute silence at night. It's those huge differences that just stick with you.
So, are you thinking about going? Because I wouldn't blame you. But look, if you are thinking about it, you need to know this is a trip that takes some serious planning. So let's run through the essentials you'll need to know. Okay, first things first. Do not, I repeat, do not try this on your own. You absolutely need a 4x4 and a guide who knows what they're doing. It's non-negotiable. Also, pack for the extremes. Sun protection is a must, and you'll want gear to keep the sand out of everything. The best time to visit is usually in the spring or autumn to avoid the craziest temperatures. Oh, and here's a big one. If you own a drone, you have to bring it. The views from the air are just legendary. So, to wrap it all up, the Five Lakes Crossing is just one of those must-do adventures. It's got it all. Unbelievable scenery, real off-road thrills, and that special kind of magic you only get from being way, way out in the middle of nowhere. It's a true trip of a lifetime for sure. You know, a trip like this really makes you think. We feel like we've mapped out the whole world, that there are no surprises left. But then you see something like this, and it just makes you wonder, what else is out there? How many other incredible, hidden wonders are just waiting to be found?